Hey guys, what's up? It's your man Pete. And yes, spring has sprung. And you know what that means, a busy real estate market. And while the prospects of another lockdown are not so encouraging, but at least, hey, the weather's getting better, we can enjoy the sun, we can get out and not be cooped up in our houses all day, every day. Gotta look at the positive side, okay guys? Let's be a little bit more optimistic here. But I just thought I would give you all some of my thoughts and insights on what's been happening in the Toronto real estate market. You know, sort of the high level stuff, because of course everyone's individual situation is quite different. Financially, they're different. You know, a family buying a home in the suburbs for their growing family is different from the first-time home buyer who's buying a condo in the core of the city. But yeah, it's been a full year since our first official lockdown. God, it feels like more than a year, right? It feels like 2 or 3 years have passed in my life. But yes, the Toronto Real Estate Board recently released their March sales figure. And of course, the numbers were extraordinary because half of March last year was actually the official lockdown. And so, you know, it's been exceptional to say the least. And the market's just been absolutely relentless. And like I've always been saying, property here in Toronto is worth more than gold. And for you crypto folks up there, I think it's even more valuable and not as volatile. So that's why everyone's pouring their money into real estate, not just in Toronto, but pretty much around the world. Why has the market been so hot? So, well, obviously the big answer is FOMO, right? You know, people want to be able to get into the market before it gets more expensive. And this is not fiction in any way. This is actual fact. It's happening. It's happening before our eyes. But the market's been hot for more reasons than just low interest rates. Of course, that plays into it. But the market's been hot more than just because of low interest rates. Wouldn't you agree? Because owning a home is something that you can enjoy, right? It's something that you can live in. It's something you can see, feel, touch, smell every day. And then the byproduct of being able to get in as early as you can, or to be able to buy strategically as you can, is that it's going to increase your net worth over time. Of course, that's not as powerful a motivator as being priced out of a market, but let's be honest, guys, Toronto is pretty big. There's a lot of places that you could buy in. You really want to be in a great neighborhood and have fabulous space, well, you're just going to have to pay for it. That's a fact. That's reality. And while in Toronto's history in real estate over the last 20 years it's been growing, and it's been sort of like expanding and doubling and tripling and even quadrupling in some places, there was always this sense of nervousness and hesitation of, you know, when is this party going to stop? When are the Jenga bricks going to tumble down and, you know, everything's going to be done and over with? For those of you who are new to real estate, they've been calling a crash for probably easily 10 to 15 years now. And I don't know what kind of prognosticator or predictor or economist you can be if you're calling a crash for 15 years and it doesn't happen. Honestly, I don't know how much credibility you have. But what you should be doing is you should be listening to people who are in the industry, who are following it closely, who actually know what's going on. So that's why it's important for you to follow our channel here at Selling Toronto, and also to work with us directly so that we can help you produce extraordinary results. But yeah, in essence, the Toronto and the GTA market right now is just pretty much a runaway freight train, to be honest with you. And so it really doesn't have any limit or ceiling. And so you do want to get in as soon as possible, you know, obviously without stretching your bank account too much. And you should definitely buy something that's within reason. It has potential. And of course, it's got to be comfortable enough for you to live in, because it's lifestyle first, then financial. But yeah, so if you're one of those, you know, eternal pessimists who keep saying, you know, it's going to crash, you know, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, then I'm going to let you in on a not so secret. The market's not going down. The market is essentially unstoppable. You know, it's at a point where it's got so much momentum. It's really more about how much is it going to go up. That's the question that we should be asking. And we should be a little bit more optimistic in thinking that if you make the right, smart, and strategic moves, and of course you work with the right people, then you're going to do well. You're going to not have to pay as much 6 months down the line or a year down the line. And the funny thing is, now we're starting to see it happen in the US too, where they're getting like 66 offers, all cash, for properties. And I'm sure there's a few of you Canadians down there putting in offers in the US too. You know, their bidding wars are even more preposterous than ours. It's ridiculous down there. And so it's clear, not just because of the pandemic, that people are valuing homes, they're valuing property, they're valuing land. They value good communities and good neighborhoods with, of course, good schools. And the lower the density, the better. It's not just for right now, but I think probably for the foreseeable future as well too. But of course, here in Toronto, people are buying up condos in the core like it's going out of style. So if you're fearful, you're scared, you're worried, and you're just a pessimist, then I'm sorry, I don't have good news for you, because you're just going to be sitting on the sidelines and you're just going to keep seeing prices go up and up and up. So it's going to be really tough on this type of personality and this type of buyer, where if you don't adapt yourself, if you don't adapt to the market, and you don't work with professionals who really know what's going on and can teach and coach you towards success, then it's not going to be easy for you in any way or fashion. So my advice to you is to not let fears or worries overwhelm and overtake your decision making. You have to look at it very logically, or as much as you can when it comes to purchasing a property. That's why you need to work with the pros, because they can help you think in that way. And ultimately, yes, the decision is yours, because you're going to be living in that property. You're going to be benefiting from that property if it goes up in value. And so an agent's not there to help you make the decision, although we are there sometimes to give you that extra nudge or push to make it happen. But if it's something that you just don't feel is right, and after you've received all the information and you've weighed all the pros and cons, and you still ultimately don't want to go forth with it, then we'll find you the next property. We'll find you something that's better. Now we know what you don't like. Again, our jobs as agents and brokers is to try to get you as ready as possible. It's like, imagine you're an Olympic athlete, right? Except you've never been an Olympic athlete. And so, we need to get you trained up. We need to get you to study the market. We need to get you to a point where you can see things very clearly, why you should buy here, why you shouldn't buy here, why this kitchen is good, why this kitchen is not good. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's your decision to make, whatever you feel comfortable with. But we're here to give you the expert advice in terms of finding something that will go up in value more than the other property. And this takes time. It takes patience. It takes a really trusting and loyal relationship. And it goes both ways. I think a lot of people really disrespect the profession because they don't really understand what's happening in terms of dealing with people. Buying and selling real estate is not like buying commodities or buying stocks. And I think a lot of people think that just because I've looked at 100 listings online that, I know what I'm doing. I'm an expert now. I should go get my license and I should go do this. There is so much within the profession and the job itself that you have no idea about. Because oftentimes, not only are we there to show you properties and to analyze properties, but we're there to help solve problems, financial, personal problems, and to help get people into the right mindset so that they can make the best decision for themselves. I don't know how many professions are involved in actually doing and getting so entrenched into people's lives. And so please, don't disrespect the profession. Be grateful that you're working with a pro and working with someone who actually truly cares about your success. So I hope you guys are all having fun out there and finding success in buying and selling properties. We're probably going to keep continuing on this trend right now, maybe not as hot as what we saw in March, but it's going to be a very busy, a very active season and a very busy year. But that's it for now. Please hit the subscribe button, give us a like, feel free to leave a comment. But if you're looking to work with a real pro who's going to help you succeed in getting to where you want to go with a very delightful experience, then you definitely want to give us a call here at Selling Toronto. So that's it for now, guys, and hope you have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.